Welcome, Bud Martin. Merry holidays, and it's so great to see you again.
Likewise.
Tell me first off, and tell our viewers about Merry and Bright, what you're doing to cheer us this holiday season.
So this was our production manager's idea about taking some of the technical people that we had on furlough and giving them something to do over the holidays. So we asked our master electrician, who's done some lighting design for us, if he wanted to design a light show for Christmas. And he got very enthusiastic about it. So he designed it, he laid it out on the stage. Nobody's been in the theater since we've been closed, but he laid it all out on the stage and made sure that it was all going to work, and then put it all up and spent hours and hours and hours of programming the lights to music. So we have the front of the theater all decorated out with lights, and behind the glass windows there are lights, and he's choreographed those lights to a couple of great songs. We have three singer musicians, Charlie Del Marcel, Liz Filios, and I can't believe his name is, Lindsay Smiling. I'm so sorry, Lindsay, if you're watching this. Anyway, the three of them are singing a handful of songs, and then Santa Claus appears. Santa Claus made a very clever poem about the night before opening and all through the theater. Designers were working to make everything look neater. The costumes were hung in the dressing rooms with care, with the hopes that an audience would soon be there. Anyway, it's a half an hour. You know, we people have to wear a mask to come in, and there's no assigned seating. They just mingle, and you know, it's fun. We have 3 shows a night.
Now, is it out? I thought it was outdoors. People stayed outdoors.
It is outside.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I said no. They wander. I mean, they can walk around or they can stand there and see it. It's short enough and that they don't get too cold. And it's, you know, yesterday we were a little concerned about weather, but our snow plowing company, Green Dreams, got in there and cleaned everything up really well and cleaned up the parking lot so people could park and walk over. And so it's short enough and it's fun enough, and I think the audience last night really loved it. You know, the state had put out a mandate that only a gathering of 50 people was maximum outside. And we sent them, the Department of Public Health, a letter about our summer program and into the fall, and what we did and how, you know, we could monitor the distances and so forth. So then they gave us approval to extend it to 100. Well, we sold out the 50 as soon as we put it online within a couple of hours. And by the way, it's free. So you go online to purchase a ticket, but you don't have to pay money for it. That way we know who's coming and how many people we have. And then they gave us the ability to do 100. And as soon as we put the other 50 online, we sold out.
Oh, that's great, Bud.
But last night, I think the weather, we probably had about half the people that had signed up for last night not come out because of weather. I think there was a lot of fear of ice, and let me tell you, when I was driving home, I think it was probably a smart decision for people.
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, leave it to the theater to find a creative way to remind people that the show will somehow go on. But what do you hear? I know you're very connected with the theater scene in New York. I think people want to know, what are you hearing about down the road, about after the first of the year? How is that community doing?
I think the community is struggling. All my actor friends in New York are, you know, they're also gig workers. So being on unemployment is a challenge. And I think they have all been very worried about this new COVID relief package being extended to gig workers. They, you know, when we did our cabarets and concerts this summer, they were thrilled just to have the opportunity to do something. I don't see Broadway reopening. I think they're hoping to reopen in the summer. But I think that there was a discussion that went on yesterday among league members that I saw that talked about, because 65 to 70% of the audiences in the theater come from outside the primary Manhattan zip codes, that they're concerned about just when audiences will really come back, and that the shows that will open on Broadway are going to hopefully have, they're going to have big draws, like, Music Man was, looking like that could be a really big draw.
Sure.
But Music Man would have to sell out to make any money. And if there's any social distancing requirements inside the theater, Broadway won't come back until that's gone, because there's no way that that shows can survive. The other side of it is that people have to start to reimagine Broadway shows, so that maybe they'll be smaller and less production value, so that they can operate on a smaller budget until they start to see tourists coming back, because 30 to 35% of the audience comes from Manhattan, period. That's it. And that just won't support, Broadway shows.
Well, that's always been the thrill, a trip to New York and a Broadway show. What
yeah.
about our beloved Delaware Theatre Company now? Look into your crystal ball. What do you think?
Well, because of the success of our outdoor programs this summer and early fall, we're going to continue that. We're going to offer a 10-show subscription outside, starting in the beginning of May, and it'll run 10 weeks over the summer till the middle of August. And we're this time, last summer and early fall, we did just 1 or 2 nights of a cabaret. This time we're going to do 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday performances, and it won't be just cabarets or concerts. We're going to have some comedy shows. We're going to try to do a straight play for a married couple, or for a one-person play, but it won't just be concerts. It'll also include some plays.
I think that's a great idea. I really, especially in the summertime, how fun to be able to bring a folding chair and come outside and be entertained. You're lucky you have that nice parking lot there.
Oh yeah, it's worked out really terrific. And we're really hoping that we'll be back inside in the fall. The more you hear about the vaccine distribution, and hearing some of the scientists say that by the summer there could be enough people inoculated that we will be at or close to a herd immunity in terms of vaccinations. And if that's the case, then we would really try to open inside in the fall.
Give us a little hint, Bud. What are some of the things that you're thinking about in the future?
Well, we had a season this year, which we never got to do, and I paid for all the royalties.
So you better do that first, huh?
But anyway, so the show we had to cancel was $1 Million Quartet, which would have been last April and May. We'd love to open with that, because it's such an exciting and fun show. It'll be a way to get people enthused about coming back to the theater. And a friend of mine from London is working on a one-person show with Leslie Nichols. Leslie Nichols is the head cook in Downton Abbey. So we're planning on doing Leslie's show as a premiere for us in the fall. So I think what we would do,
wow,
we're going to try to do 6 shows instead of our normal 5, because we would start with $1 Million Quartet, then we would do Leslie's show. Harry Hamlin's working on a one-person play as well, and he asked me if we would consider letting him try it out at our place. It's called
fabulous.
It's called Happy Now. And he sort of takes us through a number of his relationships, let's say, after being the sexiest man alive, and how so many of them ended up with the woman screaming, "Happy now!"
Oh, but that's great. Really great. Well, you're managing to keep the theater alive, it sounds like, huh?
Doing our best, yeah.
Well, Bud, thank you for making the time today, and I wish you and yours a wonderful holiday. Can't wait to be back in the Delaware Theatre Company.
We can't wait to have you back.
All righty then. Take care.
You too, Sharon. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.